Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Infinite Abstractions here, Carl. I'm just going to do a little quick video here touching on the subject of the existence of the divine, the infinite, the Father, God, whatever you wish to call it. And in a little explanation here, God, as many people in religion know to exist, or claim they know to exist, does not actually in fact exist. Now, there is an intelligent force behind all existence, and I've touched on this in my other videos so far, but it is not an individual personal being that sent his only begotten Son to the earth, or any other fallacious religious assumptions based on folktale, supposition, and different pagan notions that stemmed from out of the ancient past. Now, the God of the Jews and Christians, which is known as Yahweh, Jehovah, etc., came out of ancient Chaldea, where Abraham of the Old Testament resided, and coming up through into modern times once the Jewish people established their colony in Canaan, which became Judea and other colonies, etc., became Jehovah. It was Yahweh at one point, and then through different linguistic translations over time, as the different dialects in that region branched off and became their own languages, it became Jehovah, or Jehovah. Now, the Christian God is that same adaptation. It's a centralized configuration of power that the ancient pagan mind was capable of comprehending, recognizing that there was some sort of force behind all of existence that gave everything its form, gave us our perception of that form, etc. But in centralizing it, it was definitely a step in the right direction from the vast pantheologies of ancient Greece and Rome and all the other civilizations that sprung out of that general region of the world, the Egyptian mythology, for instance, too, with its many gods. But in centralizing that configuration, they definitely made an evolutionary leap in recognition of a central force, as opposed to many different forces based on their own observations of different natural phenomenon and natural disasters like earthquakes, floods, fires, lightning, etc. Now, as we progressed into modern time, that God concept became entwined with the notions that Jesus was trying to teach the ancient people, which were basically personal moral responsibility for all acts of consciousness. Everything that you perpetrate is your own responsibility. You can justify all you want that people will can be blamed for different happenings in your life, but the fact that you chose all the circumstances of your own life to get to that particular point in time where that happened to you in the first place is your responsibility. Most people aren't willing to accept that level of responsibility about their own situation, and so use the subterfuge of religion as a means of relieving psychic pressures, guilt complexes, etc., and therefore that religion, that idea, becomes an escape mechanism. Getting back to the concept of the centralized force of existence, which I call the infinite consciousness. Jesus called this particular concept the Father within, which is basically a counterpart of the infinite that we are harmonically linked to as with our consciousness. Our perception itself, as a certain wavelength of energy, is capable of harmonically attuning itself over a progressive evolution over a long period of time to these abstract energy formations and extrapolating something beneficent out of them, and it is reflected consequently down into your physical world and manifests itself as great powers, etc. Now, the God concept is invalid on many points, including what I've just touched on. However, that does not fully justify that existence of this higher level of consciousness that the underlying order. If you look at all of the configurations in the universe, it points towards an intelligent entity, not a personal being as you or I are, as separate human beings in a sense, or as separate atoms, or any other form of existence that has its definite coalescent expression as an individual entity, a different conglomeration of energy waveforms in the forms of atoms or of radiant energy from electromagnetic fields and electromagnetic energy, cosmic rays, etc. This infinite mind is intelligent in many respects because of the consistency with which these kinds of energies and there are all these resurgent life patterns of different species are capable of being sustained in any given dimension, time, or space. So therefore, there is an intelligent being that's a part of everything, so therefore is infinite, and can't assume a physical form or an individual form as you or I perceive that, but is the sum and substance of everything in existence. An infinite resurgent pattern our consciousness is an integral component of, and therefore that consciousness wavelength is capable of tuning itself to any given perception of existence. So therefore that consciousness frequency in and of itself is the sum and substance of the infinite itself, and so therefore we are capable of becoming infinite, or not becoming infinite, rather progressing infinitely and always gaining new wisdom. And that's the true course of evolution, and I will touch on integrating these particular concepts with Darwinian evolution in a future video that I have planned. See ya.